So, I've been on a bit of a vacation and haven't posted in like a month. A big sorry to my subscribers. But since my last video, there's been a downpour of worse and worse decisions coming from big gaming or entertainment companies. I decided I wanted to talk about all this crap and hear what you all think. So, I'm making this podcast style video to just rant a bit. So, let me start by explaining what's been going on for those that haven't been keeping up with recent gaming news. I'm going to start with Jedi Survivor. When it came out, it was nearly unplayable on PC. The dev studio had released it with such poor optimization that people with gaming PCs that cost more than my car couldn't play it without extreme stuttering, glitches, frame rate drops, and more. A day or so later, we get an apology and a promise that they'll fix it. In the week following Jedi Survivor's launch, a game called Redfall came out. At least Jedi Survivor was a good game, but Redfall wasn't even that. It was pretty awful. Buggy gameplay, poor combat and storytelling, extreme glitches and overall lack of substance. Then sometime later, we got Gollum. I don't like saying this, but it may be possibly one of the worst games that I've seen in a long time. Buggy gameplay, poor graphical design and performance, a weird fan-fiction style narrative that tries to paint Gollum a deprived, ring-obsessed cretin into a weirdly friendly, helpful, bird-befriending sob story that only after being released from prison on good behavior did he go try and find the ring. So those are just a couple big hype game launches that went poorly. Granted, we did also get Tears of the Kingdom. Yay, Nintendo for doing something amazing. But let's keep going. The World of Warcraft team announced that the infamous WoW token, the ability to purchase in-game gold for $20, will be coming to Classic WoW. This is something that Blizzard had originally said they wouldn't do, as the Classic community was very much against it. Well, it's in the game, and the worst part about it was their lame attempt to say that they did it for our own good. Like, don't worry, we're doing this for you. No, Blizzard, you're doing this to make money, just own it, accept it, and move on. Blizzard also announced that Overwatch 2 will no longer be receiving the PvE content that we had eagerly been awaiting for the past couple years. Some people went as far to say that this was a rug pull scam, as a lot of people bought the game or skins within the game in hopes that Overwatch 2 would be more than just an Overwatch 1 update. So far, the seasonal content is looking good, but I can definitely understand that without the PvE game mode, it could be seen as Blizzard promising this big new piece of content, getting everyone to invest in it, and then closing down the project and running away with everyone's investment. And lastly, Twitch has just announced that they will be putting some restrictions in place for streamers and how they engage in sponsored content on their streams. In a nutshell, Twitch released new rules that would limit the size of logos on the screen, prevent you from advertising in a way commonly requested by sponsors, and remove the ability to run certain ads during your stream. I'm not a streamer, so I won't act like I know everything about this, but what I do know is that for any content creator, the majority of your revenue comes from sponsorships. So if the platform you're on messes with your ability to get sponsors, it's a very big deal. I highly recommend looking up these topics individually because I personally think that each of these fuck-ups are equally as stupid and equally as entertaining to hear about. But that's not exactly what this rant is about. This rant is about the age-old conversation of corporate greed and the diminishing power of the consumer. The fact that we, the consumer, have been given a lot of shit lately and are being told to like it. And the main problem that I have with this is you can't really be mad about it. This is how business is meant to function. Businesses are created to make money, and everything in this world is driven by money, so businesses will never stop trying to make more. Corporate greed isn't just a 1% wealthy executives thing, it's a basic part of human nature. As humans, we want more resources, and when we technically have enough to live at the moment, we want more in order to ensure our survival for the future. And the more resources you have, the more likely it is that you'll survive. In the present day, we fight for survival by making money in order to ensure that we can buy enough resources for our family and our family's families and so on to survive. The more money, the more resources, and the better quality of life. So when these companies are making decisions that make or save them money at the cost of the customer experience or the happiness of the consumer, we shouldn't be surprised. In fact, we should expect it. Everyone that works at Twitch wants to make money. Everyone that works at Blizzard or EA or Arcane Studios wants to make money. Not just the executives, but the devs and all the business employees as well. It's their job. They get paid by the company. Not everyone makes the decisions, but not everyone is in a position to fight those decisions either. I'll give you an example, a very personal example. In my day job, I'm a product manager. I work for a telecom corporation and manage their internet products. I know what it's like to have a job that is specifically designed to make the company money by optimizing revenue streams. And what I've learned is that product managers are in every company, every industry. So these companies that make our games, yeah, I'm pretty sure that they have product managers too. I'm almost 100% sure that Twitch and Blizzard have product managers because I actually looked into working there some years ago. So when you're in the product manager position, trying to make decisions for whatever product it is you're managing, you have one goal in mind. How do I make this product the most financially profitable for my company? Yes, sometimes that goal matches perfectly with the best interests of the customer. In fact, a lot of times the interests of the company and customer align. The customer is willing to buy a product and the company wants to sell it. But the company won't stop there. Companies will try to optimize revenue streams to the point where they can't squeeze any more money out of the customers who are willing to pay. It's the nature of a business, make money at any cost. And if your job is to make the company money, to optimize the product to give the most revenue, then what happens if you don't do that? What happens if you truly put the customer first and go against the interests of the company? What happens if you, God forbid, don't make the company as much money as you could have? Well, what happens is you lose your job. You'll get fired every single time. There's no company that will ever tolerate an employee who is consistently trending a negative month-over-month revenue number. Or for those of you who aren't familiar with that stuff, if your product is consistently losing money and you're making decisions that can't hit the goal of making money, you will get fired. And if you aren't fired, you're at least out of the running for a promotion or any sort of payment raise. Now, I wanted to spend some time explaining that because as much as some people will think that that is common sense, it really isn't. Gaming studios, big and small, try to pass off their decisions as being pro-consumer or pro-gamer, but I think that's kind of bullshit. I feel like they hide behind the video game devs and let the devs tell everyone, we love making games and we want this game to be the best for you. But entertainment companies don't think in pro-consumer terms. They think in terms of money, the same as every other company. And the devs who probably do want to make an amazing game are being paid by the company who will fire them if they don't go along with the money-making decisions. Most devs don't have the power to stand up to business decisions. It is a business decision. And the people that make the company more money will always have the most power. A company needs to be profitable to stay alive. That is the one universal truth of business. This can be interpreted in different ways, but without going too far into that, basically, if you're losing money, eventually your business will die. If you're making a game that won't be profitable once you launch it, that's amazing. You are a saint. You are also probably doing it as a hobby and not expecting much back other than the satisfaction of releasing a game. And I'm sure there are some indie games where the developers have done this. In fact, most indie developers that are looking for a profit usually have to operate at a low cost because they know that they can't use the anti-consumer monetization practices or ask for a high price on a small game from a studio that hasn't proven itself yet. Their overall return on investment will be smaller. If you're a Twitch streamer, you have to understand that Twitch will only look out for you as long as they're making money off of you. As soon as Twitch starts losing money, they will look for ways to make more, and they will not hesitate to take some from the pockets of their streamers. They will overreach, because as the owner of the platform, it's their right to implement rules in the company's best interest. And it seems like in this case, where Twitch made rules that make it harder for streamers to properly advertise for sponsors, it seems like they're looking to push their own advertising avenues to optimize their revenue from streamer advertising. I'm really not trying to defend any of these decisions. In fact, I'm mostly a cynic when it comes to corporations. But my goal with this rant is to help us as a consumer understand one thing about these companies. These companies are not your friends. They will not give you a fair deal. They will give you the smallest amount possible that you are willing to spend the most amount on. Sometimes the interests of the company and the consumer align, like with Tears of the Kingdom, where the game is so good and so popular that no one minds that it is a $70 game rather than the historically standard $60. Nintendo can sell amiibos and other accessories for a console that is nearing the end of its life, and no one is angry that they are anti-consumer because the consumers are happy. Other times, the interests of the company and the consumer do not align, like with Twitch, or with the WoW token, or any of the controversial decisions that YouTube has made in the past, or with Halo Infinite having big problems at launch, or with Overwatch 2 becoming Overwatch 1 again by Blizzard cutting the PvE content. This is considered anti-consumer because at the end of the day, these decisions are not in the best interest of the consumer. They are for the company, either to save money or make more money. This won't be in every case, but in most cases, you can break down and understand most business decisions by how does it make the business money. Does it get more subscribers? Does it increase advertising revenue? Did more people buy the game? Did more people spend money within the game? Did we save money on QA and release it a good enough game for our customers to buy it just because we had the Star Wars logo on it? But enough with all this doom and gloom. Originally, I didn't want to make this a rant, but it's definitely turned out to be one. I just think it's extremely important for us as consumers to keep our eyes open to the fact that businesses exist to make money, not to make you happy. And I know it's been said a lot, but the best way to fight back against businesses is to speak their language. Money. If you don't agree with a business, don't buy their product. If you buy their product, they mostly don't care if you're happy or not, because they know you'll continue to buy. Yes, customer satisfaction is a big deal, but as long as enough people buy a product, it will justify the decision as profitable, even with a low customer satisfaction rate. Take, for example, Walmart, having the lowest customer satisfaction score out of all department stores, but being the most profitable business in 2023, ranked number 1 on the Fortune 500 list. Vote with your money. If a game comes out as crappy as Redfall did, or even with the performance issues that Jedi Survivor did, don't buy it. Or if you already bought it, refund it. With this Twitch sponsor restrictions that'll go into effect in July, I hope that enough big and small streamers are looking at the opportunity to try out other platforms so that Twitch knows it overreached and made a bad decision. With World of Warcraft introducing the WoW token in a Classic, I hope enough people will either unsubscribe or just play another game mode, because if they don't, it'll show that Blizzard is right, and it doesn't matter if the WoW token ruins the game. People will still play the game. But at the end of the day, it's up to you. You as an individual consumer need to decide if you care enough about these issues to not buy or use the product. Don't let the opinions of others sway you one way or the other, but be smart and take those opinions into consideration along with your own interpretation of the facts. Alright, that's enough ranting for today. I think I got my point across, and if I didn't, let's talk more in the comments. Either way, I promise I'll be back releasing my normal content soon. I have 2 reviews already in the works, and I started on Diablo 4 now that us normal people are allowed to play. So stay tuned for some cool upcoming stuff with that. But most importantly, I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you liked it, and subscribe for more content. I hope you are treated better by the companies that want your money, and I can't wait to see what we talk about next.